try good. No, never.
Oh, sorry. This is why this is live. What's good? What's good, y'all? Welcome to the RPGM podcast, where we reprogram your mind so that you can live the life that you want. I'm crazy excited today. I have a few topics we're going to be talking about today. The first one is probably one of the most interesting and thought-provoking, which is pretty privilege. Definitely make sure you guys tune in, share if you want to talk about and hear us talk about pretty privileges. Number two, domestic violence. That's that we're going to go a little bit deeper, a little bit darker with that one, guys. So again, those two particular topics, we're going to be hashtagging and talking about those. So share it with everybody. If you have comments, please drop your comments in and share this particular topic with everybody there, guys. Check it out. So what I want to do is, this is what we call water of for the mind. All right, I'm gonna read it to you guys real quick. Right, I want you to take a moment because I want us to get our thoughts and our mind going more than anything else. So as we get into this particular show, I want you to start thinking about this particular topic. All right, the strength of a human being is in the ability to hold on to hope amid despair. I'm gonna read it one more time. The strength of a human being is the ability to hold on to hope and despair. Right? It's going to go along with everything we're talking about today. All right. So before I bring on my guest, I have to set her up properly, right? Well, I guess you know it's a her because you've seen the promos, right? All right. So not only is she a model, she's an actress, she's a nurse, and she's a mom, and now she's a survivor. And we're going to be talking about everything in her life today and give you guys some nuggets and tips on how to become a better version of yourself despite everything that's going on. You know what I mean? Check it out. My good friend, my homie. We got a long story. Well, actually, a short story how we met. But welcome to my show, Lauren Lyman. Thank you, Lauren, for coming.
I'm so excited. So excited.
Absolutely, I'm glad you were here. How you feeling today?
Good. I feel good today.
Absolutely, absolutely. You looking on point. You know what I'm saying? You know, came in dressed up, hair looking like as expected. All right. So we got a brain teaser, right? Right. I'm gonna read it out to you. Don't answer. If you have the answer, great, but don't tell us right off the bat, right? So check this out. What is something so delicate that simply speaking its name will break it? Okay. I'm gonna say it one more time. What is something so delicate that simply speaking its name will break it? I got it. I'm reading one more time. What is something so delicate that simply speaking its name will break it? I think I have the answer. Okay, Bella, can you answer right now? Can you answer it?
Okay, Bella, can you answer right now? Should I answer?
Something so
All right.
delicate that simply speaking
Something so delicate that
its name
simply
will
speaking
break it.
its name
I
will
want to
break
say,
it. I want to say,
I don't know why love comes
I
out.
don't know why
Like,
love comes out. Like, I know it sounds good, like, speaking this name will break it. No, it's
no,
not love.
is it like
No, can
tangible?
you put hint? Is it like tangible or is it something?
It's not a physical object.
Okay.
Speaking its name will break it.
Speaking this name will break it.
Mm, I don't
Mm.
know. That's like
I don't
normally
know. Normally I'm right on point with these. I don't have it. Speaking this name will break it.
oh no. Is it thought? Okay. Speaking this name will break it. Let me read it one more time. Maybe I get it. What is something so delicate that simply speaking its name will break it? If you speak its name, it's going to break. Oh, wind. No. You speak his name. I mean, it was a good one though. If you speak his name, it will break. Something so delicate. Oh,
I mean,
okay. Can you give us like a hint before you give us the answer? I mean, just kind of like throw a nugget out there. Like, what could it be?
well, it's not a physical object.
It's not a physical object.
Right.
It definitely is. Is it it's a noun? Is it adjective?
It's complicated.
Okay. Okay. Just give us the answer. No. I want to. Sorry.
Trust, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, that's a good one.
But you can't, I mean, if you speak it, you can't break it, but
I got it. A promise.
That's a good one, but no.
Oh shoot.
We're struggling with this one. You ready for it?
Hold on, give me one more second. It's not a promise if you break it. If you break a promise. Loyalty? Okay, I give up. What is it?
Silence.
Oh my freaking God. Something so simple. I'm mad at myself for that one. All right, guys. So before we get into our topic, we're going to take a very, very, very short break, and we'll be right back, guys. I'm mad at myself. And we are back. I'm still mad about that brain teaser because it was something so simple. But that goes to show you sometimes if you overthink,
Absolutely.
you miss the thing that's right in front of you. All right, so now we're going to our next segment, something I really enjoy, right? That's what we call I'm going to call it rhythm and rhyme. So basically what we like to do is I pick a song that resonates with my mindset, whether it's something that had me motivated or something that had me thinking about something really, really deep, right? And I give that particular song a title, a meaning, how it resonated in my life, right? So my song is Linkin Park, right? One Step Closer, and so like this week, I ain't gonna lie, I had a lot of shit going on. It was just stuff going on, right? And when I get to that point, I play that song, right? It's one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break, right? And so I had my headphones on in the gym. I was playing the song, you know what I'm saying? It's one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. And there's a big buildup of the song, right? And so right before it's like it decrescendos and it crescendos up, and then it just breaks into like, shut up. He's like, shut up. And I was like, so that's how I was feeling. It was just stuff was going on in life. And I said, this is something I do as a man. I said, instead of me like lashing out to people, I find ways to like channel it, right? So that's why I go to the gym so much, So I had the song in my head. It was one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. So all this stuff was happening, and that's what the song I need to hear. It's like I got one more thing happening, and I'm about to let it all out, right? So it allowed me to like channel my energy to the gym and have the song vocalize how I was feeling. So that was my song, Linkin Park, One Step Closer. That's my jam. Do you have one?
I must say,
Okay,
mine is a little bit different.
gotcha. Okay,
But Plan B by Megan Thee Stallion. Okay.
I don't know the song.
It's great.
I'm glad I don't know the song. I'm sorry.
More
Yeah.
women empowering, like, forget all the rest.
Yeah.
It's a little explicit though. I take all the explicit stuff out,
Mhm.
but just it's about a breakup and
Okay.
how she, realized this person wasn't really that great of a person.
Yeah.
And it's listen to it when you get a chance. That's all.
Okay. It's a woman empowerment song.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
I
And
got
she
you.
raps real hard.
Yeah.
Real hard.
You got the lyrics?
So,
You know what?
I do. I know every word of it. And when I listen, I'm Megan Thee Stallion at the moment.
Okay, all right, bet. So when do you decide to listen to that song? Like, is it something happening in life, or is it just one of those I just need?
It's just one of those that when it comes, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I got to listen to this. I have to listen to this. I can be at the gym.
Yeah.
I can be on the Stairmaster in my own little world.
Right.
Just listening to Megan Thee Stallion. I know.
Did you work out this week? Yeah, all right, we ain't going there right now. We ain't talking about that. All right, guys. All right. So let's get into it right now, right? So one of the things I like to do is have open dialogue, right?
Mhm.
We just talk, but obviously intentionally. Like, so the topic we chose today are very applicable to your life, right? So let's talk with the one I think most people would obviously want to talk about right now, which is pretty privilege. Okay. Because I'm gonna just say what I think first of all. You know what I mean? Most people, they see you, they'll, which is why when we were talking outside, I just totally shunned you off when I was like, oh, here we go, pretty girl want to work out, whatever. So I'm gonna tell y'all the backstory later, but we met on TikTok. She wanted to work out, and I didn't take her serious at all. Now we're just really good friends, and she has an amazing backstory. So y'all gonna hear about it right here. So he was like, I want to work out. I was like, okay, here we go, another pretty girl just trying to hit me up online, and I'm just like, whatever. You have no idea how it doesn't affect me, you know what I'm saying? But so when people first see you, what do you think they think of you when they first see you?
Oh, she's just a pretty face.
Yeah,
she's really pretty, and that's it. Like it goes no further than that.
Right.
Like, oh, she's pretty, you're pretty, I like your eyes, I like your hair, whatever they say, that's all it stops. And it's not everybody, but it's a lot of the time, majority of the times, that's what it is.
Right.
And it's funny because I've been told, oh, you can have whatever man you want. And really, I'm like, no, I can't. Like, what are y'all talking about? What's going on? You know, but it's a double-edged sword.
Right. So what's your typical response? Like, let's say let's do two different people.
Okay.
Somebody who said that to you.
Okay.
How do you respond to them? And then how do you respond to somebody who you don't know who says
to them?
Yeah, like they say, you're pretty, you can have anything you want.
So
somebody
that I know, I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
And the people that know me and that's close to me know the struggle that I've been through with dating and with relationships and the mistakes that I've definitely made. So most of the people that know me know what I've been through, but the people that don't, I'll be like, yeah, no, it's not that great.
Right. So do you have any like personal, let's do two different stories, right? Let's give one story to where it was an advantage, and then let's give another story where it was a disadvantage.
I have more disadvantage stories.
Let's start with disadvantage. Let's go disadvantage.
Then advantage stories.
Right.
So, a lot of times I have to really work through, is this guy just talking to me because I am pretty and I'll look good for them? Because a lot of relationships end up like that with me. Oh, she looks good, I can take you here, I can take you there, dress like this, dress like that. And I'm just a trophy wife, not even trophy wife, just somebody to bring around and show.
Right.
Or I look good for them. Like, I even recently had somebody tell me that when I was in a relationship with a guy, that he would send pictures to his ex of me and him. Like,
hold on, wait.
Bragging. Yes.
Wait, somebody in a relationship.
Somebody that I was in a relationship with.
Okay.
When he would send pictures to his ex-girlfriend of me and him out and about, dressed up nice. And this is recent. I was like, what? Like the ex found me and was telling me the stuff that they went through. And I was like, yeah, that's evil.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Yeah. It's very petty.
Very
immature.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the disadvantage. Give me
an advantage. I mean, part of the advantage is when I do go out, it's easy to not have to pay for any drinks. Or, because somebody's going to come up to me and somebody's going to ask me, hey, we want something to drink or whatever. Yeah, let's
go ahead.
Come on. Gotcha. So that's the advantage. But my mom has always taught me your looks is not going to get you everywhere. Like, she ingrained that in me. So that's not the first thing that I go to in anything that I do. It really took me in my 20s to really realize, I am pretty. Like, I do look good.
Really?
Yes.
You say in your 20s?
My 20s. Wow. Like almost 30s.
Right.
And because part of that was I was in an abusive relationship in my 20s. So that brought my self-esteem down. Gotcha. But it wasn't until I was a little older that I realized I do look good. Hold on, wait a minute.
You know, and I'm saying this for a reason too, and I want people to know this. Like we're intentionally calling things out, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, here's the thing: I know her, and once you guys get to know, like I always say this, when you're attractive, right? You attract people, but then what you get from them is going to be determined on your character, your mindset, right? So that's why I was like, oh, she's actually cool. You know?
She's serious about really working out and not just playing.
Yeah, right. You know, so I think that's the thing that makes this being attractive. We're gonna talk about that later too, because I think, you know, we always say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Because one person may say, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty," another person may be like, "She just aight."
Yeah, you know? Absolutely, absolutely.
Like, she aight, you know, all that, you know. But it's your character, that actually makes you attractive or pretty, and I want to preference that more than anything else, right? And I think with everything that you've gone through, you got to this place of like, yeah, I'm attractive, I'm pretty or whatever, but my character is
absolutely
way more prettier than, you know, whatever physical features. Because even my grandpa used to always say, "Look, they be pretty right now. When they turn 60, 70, he said they're still pretty, but things look different."
That's true. That's true. It's gonna fade.
Yeah.
Beauty fades,
right?
And you can't. And the people that try to hold on to it,
right,
it still fades. Okay, like
even. Let me ask you the question: have you ever had a moment where you saw another young lady who was like coming off as like super pretentious and bougie, and you had to like sit her down and talk to her and help her realize like, hey, that's not where it's at? No, really,
because to me, you got to learn on your own.
Okay.
If I had a daughter, of course, I would look, hey, your looks ain't gonna get you. Just like my mama did me. Your looks ain't gonna get you everything. Get your education, do what you need to do. But you know, I just think people have to learn on their own to really experience that, because it don't get you everywhere. And I don't like people like that. That I can't hang out with girls like that, because
that extra bougie, just like
I can do what I want to do. I can sit here if I want to. This is like, no, that's,
you know, be honest with you, like this is what most women don't realize. A good guy doesn't really like that. Good, like a really good wholesome man doesn't like that bougie, I think I'm all that type girl. I'll be honest with you, like I know I don't. I'm like, that shit is annoying. It really is annoying.
It's embarrassing.
Like you, and I coach a lot of people, right? And that's something I've had to say, even with somebody who's crazy attractive or whatever. I think that's why I built that mindset of like, I have my own trauma and drama of dealing with pretty women. We'll talk about that later. But which is also allowed me to just kind of have this, I can see beyond
that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So how important is it for a woman to have intentionally good balance? Okay, look, you can still be attractive, but you have to work on your character. How important is that?
Oh, that's super important.
Right.
Because like, even with me, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, I've had people like, "Oh my God, you're so smart." And I'm like, am I not supposed to? Am I not supposed to be smart? You know? And so just being able to hold a conversation, have a conversation, an intellectual conversation at that, and not just be superficial, talking about your looks, talking about the like. Let's have a conversation beyond that. Once you stop talking about that, what more do you have to offer? So you
most ain't got nothing else to talk about. Is it? That's all you got?
Yeah.
And another thing, when you get to a certain age, it really is like, bro, look, I'm 40, I'm 44. And I'm just like, that don't mean nothing. First of all, I ain't paying my bills.
I say that. I say that all the time.
Yeah, it ain't doing that for you. You know, again, there's a certain level of, yes, you do need to be comfortable with your mind and your body, your body, right? You got to be comfortable in your body, which is how we end up meeting, right? We talked about working out, trying to get yourself together, different things like that. So what would you say to the woman? I'm going to keep pushing you because it's going somewhere, right? Right before we switch the subject. To the woman who is living that I can get everything that I could because I'm pretty mindset, how would you help her get into that, get out of that?
Get out of that?
Yeah.
That comes with a cost.
Okay.
That having that thought process of I can get whatever I want because I'm pretty, you're gonna have to give yourself up in more ways than one. You know, if you're with somebody simply because they can fund your your makeup, your hair appointments, your nail appointments, you're gonna have to give something up doing that.
Let's say what they're gonna have to give up. They're gonna have to give up some ass.
I was trying to be,
We just gotta call.
but yes, no, you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna have to, or you're gonna have to live by that lifestyle.
Right.
And it's sad because a lot of women get stuck up in that.
Right.
And that when you don't have your own foundation and you don't have your own ability to pay your own bills or do what you need to do for yourself,
right,
you're just going to be a trophy wife. And that man is going to be running a household, and it's going to be his house, not your house. Just be your own, be you. Do what you have to do for you so you can stand on your own. And then if somebody wants to fund your massages, your makeup appointments, hair appointments, then let that be an add-on.
Gotcha. So we have Q&A from the audience. What do you have? Can you read it? Sorry, I don't have my glasses with me.
All right, so we have from Next Wave Entertainment, Texas, from YouTube. What are some of the warning signs young women need to look out for to protect themselves against the charming predator?
Ooh, that's a good question. Obviously, I'm gonna let you answer that.
Oh, absolutely. So the red flags you want to look out for is somebody that's, number one, self-involved. It's always about them. They don't care what your boundaries are. They disrespect your boundaries. If you have a boundary and they don't respect that, that's a red flag. Self-centered, of course. It's always about them, no matter what. Let's see what else. Rage. One thing that I missed in my abusive relationship was road rage, but not just like in your car and you talking to yourself, no, like hopping out the car because somebody cut you off. Road rage. Wow. Another thing, something my mom recently told me was how they treat wait staff. When you're out at a restaurant and they are, being rude to the wait staff and being disrespectful, that's somebody they don't even know that's helping them. Right. So if they're treating them wrong, they're going to eventually treat you that way.
That makes a whole lot of sense. So pay attention to how they treat other people.
Correct. Yeah. And how they act with other people, and how do they act when they get mad? And a lot of them wear this mask where they are perfect and they're charming and they're, and love bombing. Oh, don't get me into that. Like, beginning of the relationship, you just met, and 2-3 days later they love you, or they want to get married, or they really? Showering. Yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry. I hope you answered your question. What's it? A confident person doesn't brag. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have one more comment from The Real Miss Carter on YouTube. A confident person doesn't brag and can't be bought.
100%.
That's true.
Like,
absolutely.
I'm the type of person where now, especially now, it's like, you can't give me enough money to lower my standards, right? Or do something I just absolutely don't want to do. It's I know who I am. I'm so confident. And here's another thing. It comes off cocky to some people, but there's a huge difference between cocky and confident, right?
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
No, I'm just
absolutely.
very self-assured. And I think everybody should have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, get to the point, like, you can't do nothing for me. Like, I'll give you this. I don't care. I don't need it.
I don't need it.
Let's do this right quick. There's that last question. Okay, so this is a perfect transition too, because you said something, paying attention to the red flags, the rage, you know what I'm saying, the love bombing, all these things. And I'm not gonna lie, see, I've never done it to a woman, so I can't relate. Right. That's why I need to ask these questions, right?
Right.
So for while you were in it, why do you think that you didn't notice these things like early on? Did you not know, or what was it?
So, I noticed them, but I'm a nurse. So I'm made to fix people and help people. That's what I do every day. Right. So I can fix this person, or I wouldn't go with my gut and I would be like, oh, he didn't mean that. Or, that's to that person, not to me. Right. I wasn't paying attention to, if you treat anybody like that, you will treat me like that. Wow. And so I just wasn't really going with my instincts and trying to like not deal with that. I just was naive and was like, oh, he's just angry. He'll never do that to me. Or, it's just one time. Things like that. You really push it to the side And then when the violence really started to happen, it was, I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I'm sorry. I'll do anything to fix this. And you want to believe that because you have a relationship with this person and you see the good in the person. But at the same time, I watched my life go in this cycle of abuse over and over again. And once I really stepped back and was like, okay, I'm this is not going to ever get better.
Right.
Either it was God, the Holy Spirit was like, girl, what you waiting on? You waiting on him to go ahead and take you out, or why are you not doing anything?
Let me ask you a question. So I, as a kid, I've seen physical abuse, right? Which is, I'll give a short personal story, right? Which is why I want to talk about it because I experienced it to the point to where it's like, I know the difference. Like my grandfather was stoic. He was man's man. You know what I'm saying? I never seen my grandparents argue ever in life, right? So, and I was mainly raised by them up until my grandmother passed, right? But I seen my parents argue, and I seen my dad get physical once, and I was like, oh shit, that's different. I never want that to happen, right?
Yeah.
So in the back of my brain, I'm like, immediately I'm like, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
We just not gonna do that, right? So as a woman, like, you're in it, it happened. What was your immediate response when the first incident happened? Like, how did you respond when he was, like you say, he said, like, I'm sorry and all that other stuff? Like, when it happened?
So the very first thing he ever did to me was he held a gun to my leg. I was holding our son, feeding him. We had got into it. And I was like, I'm just going to go to my parents' house so we can cool off. And I'm sitting on the couch feeding my son and I hear click, click. And so I'm like, what is that? And so I'm feeding my son and I had my foot kind of sitting on it was kind of like this, the table sitting on the table to kind of help me hold my son. And he comes to me, you'll never leverage my son against me, and put the gun to my leg. And in that moment, I knew, okay, I have to be calm and I have to, not let this escalate anymore. So I was like, what are you doing? Like in a really calm voice.
Yeah.
You'll never leverage him again. So I just stopped talking, right? And that should have been the moment to where I was like, oh, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
But I felt like I'm too deep in this. I have a child with him. We live together. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, what am I going to do? And then it didn't happen for a long time. Like, it wasn't a consistent thing. It was maybe 6 months, 8 months would pass, no issues. And then it would be like a violent outburst. And it took a while, honestly, for me, because he would tell me, you'll never be safe. I'll kill you. You'll never be safe for me. You'll never. And so that somebody telling you
he
that
said these things prior
to me,
that happened?
No, after that happened.
Yeah.
And so even before that, like, it didn't just start off with him pulling the gun on me, throwing things, yelling and screaming, throwing things at me. And like, I would have a bruise on me from him throwing stuff at me, but he didn't hit me. Is a lot. He didn't put his hands on me.
Gotcha.
He didn't really hit me. And then they tell you, nobody's ever going to believe you. It's your word against mine. Nobody's going to believe you.
So you told somebody?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. Let's go a little bit deeper into that thought process, right?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to help people.
Absolutely.
While it's all happening, right? What goes in your mind that doesn't allow you to tell somebody what's going on?
Judgment. The fear of being judged, the embarrassment of being in this relationship, picking this person who's completely wrong for you.
Right.
And the I told you so of people that didn't like him. I'm going to embarrass my family. I got a child with this person. People are going to say I can't keep a man. People are going to just what other people thought. And once I got to a point to where my life is in danger, that it's going to get worse. He's going to kill me. So either my kids are going to be without a mom, or I need to do something. You stop really giving a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
So
which probably should have. I mean, again,
it should have been first.
It should have been first. But this is how we always talk about, like, putting yourself first.
Yes.
Being self-aware, confident, knowing what you're not going to put up with. Like,
correct.
I'm just not going to put up with that. Like I used to call it a 3-strike rule or an absolute no-no. It's like, look, you got 1 or 2 things you can do to me, and I'm like done. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you go through so much stuff. It's like, oh, I know what that looks like. I'm out. You know what I mean? So let's help men and women right now, right? So specifically men, bro. In that moment of like you the first incident happened. You didn't say nothing. You're worried about the judgment of everybody else, right? They gonna say this, they gonna say that. So you stay, because of those. Like, in addition to his rage and all the stuff that he was doing, like, what other like small things was he doing that let you know that he was unstable or he was unable to be a provider, the type of man he's supposed to be?
Oh, it was anything would set him off. Like.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry. Did he have some pre-existing issues that you knew about or didn't know?
No.
Okay.
No.
He had some issues?
He had, he told me he had PTSD.
Okay.
But the difference in PTSD and you attacking me is, you wake up, you sleep and you wake up in a sweat and you had a nightmare, something like that.
Right.
These weren't, you made the decision to put your hands on me.
Correct.
Because you were upset and you were angry and you didn't get your way. So you made the decision to act that way. Gotcha. And so that would be the excuse. Or I was drinking. Like one time he was drunk and pulled a gun on me. Or I was on some type of medication, like muscle relaxer or whatever.
So you're making excuses.
I'm a nurse. Like that's not gonna, it might make you aggressive, but you still made the decision to do that. And even when you're not on these muscle relaxers, you're still aggressive.
Right.
And in between the physical attacks, there would be threats of, now if I slapped you, there'll be a problem. Or now if and just expected extreme loyalty. Just I can
feel it. I can feel it. So it was the excuse he was making. Y'all around the same age, correct?
No, he's older than me.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, he was older than me.
Let's pause right there because I have some more questions to ask about specifically, because this is gonna, again, this helps us understand how men think and also what women are thinking. So we have another question in the chat. Can you read that?
So we have 2 questions. The first one is from Next Wave Entertainment. What are the warning signs for a woman to recognize a narcissistic man?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
Oh, definitely.
You said a couple of them already.
Definitely. Being self-centered is one. It's always about them. No matter what conversation you're having, it's going to circle back around them. Love bombing. Absolutely. Being very quickly trying to be committed in married in a week or, it's very quick and you'll feel it like, oh, there's something wrong with this. But you might feel, oh, he really likes me. No, that's too quick. That's too quick. They lie a lot about things. A lot. Like just dumb stuff.
Okay.
Gaslighting. If you call them out on something they may have said or done, I didn't do that, or I didn't say that, or, and you'll know, like, no, you said this and you did this. No, I didn't do that. I never said that. I never, no.
What's the next one? Sorry. Yeah, that stuff like that. I'm just like, go ahead. I'm sorry. I can talk all day like that.
For the next comment, also by Next Wave, how difficult was it for you to reclaim your spirit after so much intense abuse? What was the key to your road back to finding you?
Good question. New Wave Entertainment. You
taking over the question. No.
Thank you for that, though.
Thank you. So it was, how difficult was it for you to reclaim your spirit after? It was very difficult.
Right.
I really had to go to therapy. 100% for therapy. Go to therapy. Go talk to somebody that's outside, that's not biased, outside of the situation. I went to therapy for years, and I would go every 2 weeks, then cut down to once a month, and then to the point to where my therapist was like, Lauren, you're so much better. We're okay. And I was afraid to stop because that was my safe space to be free and talk about it. You have to also get around positive people that support you, people that love you. I have a wonderful family, great family. There were times where I just wanted to spend time with my family, and that was it. I didn't care about anything else. You got to get away from people who, make you feel judged, make you feel, why did you stay so long? Why you did? They don't need to hear that. Please don't tell that to nobody. That's relationship. I'm sorry, but that's true. What else did I went to church. I started going to church, and I wasn't missing any. I was going, and then when I couldn't go, I was watching every week. I joined a women's group at church to kind of build with other women, and I didn't even say anything about what I've been through. It just was good to have, other women around you that's positive, that's inspiring you. So I focused on myself.
That's what I'm talking about. Focus on yourself.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question, and it may be hard to answer, but I want you to kind of put yourself back in the situation. So first question is there something that you think you would have said to him that would have triggered, hey bro, you fucking up, you messing up?
I would tell him, you can't talk to me like that. And even in between, because I'm going to therapy. He would go to therapy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I didn't wash a dish correctly, it would, I'm going to give this, I have to tell this story. Right. The moment that I realized, the Holy Spirit talked to me and said, hey, you need to do something, was a day where I came home from a lunch break, washed the dishes, right? One of them wasn't washed good. So after I got off work, he wanted to cook, and the dish wasn't washed correctly. So he was angry, but he was already off. Something must have happened at work. I always knew his vibe. And he was pissed off about this dish not being washed correctly. And I was just, at this point, I wouldn't even argue back. Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'll wash it. Just put it in the sink.
Yeah.
And that made him even more angry. And so he was so mad. He got in my face and he said, I'm going to punch you in your face and knock your teeth out. And at that moment, it was like the Holy Spirit was like, are you going to wait for him to knock your teeth out or what? What are you doing? And that was a defining moment for me. And that's when I realized, okay, I got to do something. I got to get out of this. Right. But in between that, I would tell him, you can't talk to me like that. You can't tell me things like that. That's not conducive to you and your therapy and this and that. It would not help.
Nothing else.
It didn't matter what I said. And if I was critiquing him, that would make him even more angry. So at one point I just stopped talking. Period.
So there's basically nothing you could have said that would have given him any type of inclination of I'm really messing up right now and I need to get myself,
Narcissists don't think they have a problem at all. They're not the problem. Yeah. Everybody else is.
Right.
So I was told, if you were a better wife, I wouldn't choke you.
He blamed everybody else.
Everybody else, but
no accountability at all. Whew, golly. All right, so we move past. Let's go past worrying about what people think. Right? I'm staying here because they're gonna say we told you not to stay there. All this judgment shit, right? When was the final straw? It was you know what? I'm done. I've had enough abuse. I've taken enough. I'm emotionally drained. I'm physically drained. I'm physically beat up. What am I going to do now? What's the first step? What did you do?
So that day when the Holy Spirit was like, girl, what you waiting on? I started from that because I still didn't know. I was still afraid. I still didn't know, how am I going to get out of this? He going to try to kill me if I leave. Yeah. So I started praying every day, the same prayer every day on my way to work. God, what do you want me to do with this marriage? God, what do you want me to do with this marriage? Yeah. Every day. And one day I was watching Lakewood. I was sitting in my chair watching Lakewood at home, and it was John Gray at the time. Was preaching. Yeah. And so I was just sitting there, and my ex was in the house just walking around, just doing other stuff. And I'm sitting there, I got my notes ready, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. And John Gray gets on, and the first thing he says is, I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody's been praying their way out of a situation. And God wants me to let you know that he's got a way out for you. Just wait. And when I tell you the chills that I got, I was like, okay, God, I received that. I got it. Right. But even though I got that, I was still like, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? So my prayer then changed from, what do you want me to do, to how do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
And so a couple of months passed, and we got into it again. Big blow up. But he didn't put his hands on me, but it was a big blow up. He was yelling, screaming, going back and forth. And I was just silent. I was like, I don't want to get jumped
Yeah.
on. And I was, even though I was praying, my hope was like dwindling. I was like, God, you said you got me. I don't know about this. He driving me crazy. Like, what do I do? And he reminded me, hey, I got to go out of town next weekend. Do you want to go? And when he said that, the Holy Spirit said to me, it's time to move.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm just gonna stay here with the kids. And that started my planning. I had 1 week to plan me to move out and to get out. And that next day, after he told me he's going to town, I went to my parents' house. And I thank God for the parents that I have, because they were very supportive. And I told them, like, I just broke down. Like, I couldn't even get it out my mouth what had happened. I just broke down. And of course, they were like, yes, you can come back. And my dad was like, you don't ever have to go back. You ain't got to go back tonight, you know. Yeah. But my mom was like, no, she has to plan this. Like, it has to be a plan. It's going to be rough if you just
abruptly leave.
Yes.
And come out. Yeah.
And
shout out to your parents, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom and dad. They're great. But it was that moment, me listening to God tell me, you got to move, and having the support. Because even when I did move out, the next week, I packed my things in industrial sized trash bags and left with my kids when he was out of town. And he lost it, of course, but being at my parents' house and having that support system of don't go up there, like, you know, this it's gonna get worse, you know, because on average it takes a woman 7 times to leave an abusive relationship.
Say that one more time.
On average, it takes a woman 7 tries to leave an abusive relationship. 7.
Wow.
That's
I mean, why? I mean, the weird question is why. You know what I mean?
It's because judgment, worrying about what people has to say. Some people are financially dependent on that person. Okay. So they might be scared that they can't afford to be on their own. And if they have kids, I'm staying for the kids. Or just they may not have that support system like I had to get away. They may not have anywhere to go. Because abusers like to isolate you from your friends, from your family. They will isolate you. And don't get me started on like police. If you call the police, so many times women will call the police and be treated like they're the abusers and the abusers are the victims. Like, that's
really?
Yeah.
So when you call the cops, they're looking at you like you're the problem.
Like, what did you do to make him act like this?
Wow.
It's for me, this will probably be a next step in my life, is getting with the police officers. How do you handle domestic disputes when you go to where somebody's been getting beat, or his word against her word? Like, how do you handle that? How do you deal with it? You know, Gabby Petito, if you know that story, how that was handled with her. She went on a road trip with her boyfriend and she ended up dead a couple of months later. But prior to that, somebody called on the road and was like, hey, is somebody beating up someone in this van? They stopped the van. And she cried. Me being a domestic violence survivor, I could see her scared because he had been abusing her, but other people can't see that. Those cops let them go. They ended up back together. He ended up killing her. So it's how it's handled. If a victim is calling for help and they feel judged, or they feel like, because your abuser already tells you nobody's gonna believe you.
Right. So they got in your head.
Yes.
Let me just pause right quick there too. That's why I talk so much about being headstrong on purpose.
Oh, right?
Like mental clarity and confidence in self, right? And understanding the situation. You have to almost like play 3 moves ahead, right? Because that's exactly what it's a mind game. I hate to say it.
It is.
They're telling you everything that you know, but they're using it against you.
Yo, yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like, be smart, pay attention. You know what I mean? They never want to screw people. Like, stop worrying about what people think.
Yes.
Right? Like your mindset, how you feel. Don't ignore that shit, man. Like that gut feeling.
Yes.
That's more important than being judged.
Yeah.
100%. continue with, I want you to, like, real quick. I know we almost run out of time. It's happening, but I knew this was gonna happen. I knew it. When you decided to move, like the step move, getting the garbage bags, going to the parents' house, they took care of you. How did he respond to that part? Like, did he still?
Oh, he lost it. The crazy part about it was he FaceTimed me while I was like moving, like packing stuff up. And what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And he said, "You're not moving out, are you?" Like, it was kind of like he kind of knew. And I was like, "No, I'm just cleaning the closet." You know, I was just, made something up or whatever. And thank God we didn't have like a Ring camera or anything, because my dad was coming and taking trash bags in his truck and then going and dropping them off at the house and whatnot. But once I settled down, because he was out of town, like drove to Louisiana out of town. And so I wasn't really, did I not answer the phone? I don't remember. But when I finally got to my parents' house, he FaceTimed me again. "Where are you at?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm at my parents' house." And he could see on my face that it was something wrong. "Did you move out?" was the question. And I was like, "Well, actually I did." And he went crazy. "You tell them to take you back right now. And I'm coming over there and this, and that." And I told them, "Don't come over here. Do not come over here." And so I ended up having to go to the police station to let them know, "Hey, I left my husband and he's mad. He's coming from out of town." So they put my parents' house on like patrol to watch for that. But I still was not at a place to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna press charges on him," which I should have been. If I could go back and talk to myself and say, "Hey, you need to press charge," I would, but I didn't. I was still afraid. Still afraid.
I know it. And golly. So obviously we're gonna have a part 2. We're gonna have a part 2 of this, because there's a lot we talked about. We dropped a bunch of nuggets and helping people out. I just want you to kind of give me like 2 minutes of like things that you're currently doing right now that makes you feel like I'm a survivor and I'm moving forward in life. Give me 2 minutes of describing what's happening in your life right now. We know you're working out.
Absolutely. I work out, of course. I focus on me. And I don't allow anyone or anything in my space that disturbs my peace. If it's not positive, if you're not positive and you're not bringing positivity into my life, you're gone. I don't allow everybody to be connected to me. Just because I know you don't mean you need to call me and talk to me and take up my time or even text me or be around me. I'm very selective with who I spend my time with and who I give my time to now. I don't let people get away with anything anymore, especially dating. Like if I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you I don't like that. I can't do that. Block, like or block.
Real quick.
But I'm very selective with who I'm around, who I'm with, who I spend time with. What I do, I definitely make sure that I go to church or I watch church or whatever. That's a consistent thing in my life. I'll never let that go, because it has seen me through a lot of the stuff I've been through.
Shout out to Lakewood, by the way.
Yes.
One more thing real quick. Speak to the woman. Tell the woman, talk to the woman who's in that situation and doesn't know what to do. Just give her your intentional wisdom, experience, and what she should do.
I want you to know that it's a better life waiting for you, and you don't have to deal with the abuse. You can get out. Look at me. I was strangled. I was held at gunpoint, but my life is so much better. You can survive without that person. I promise you. Life can be so hard by yourself, but adding abuse to it, let it go. You don't worry about what anybody has thinking about you or saying about you or rumor. Let that go. But I want you to know there is a better life waiting for you after all of this. You can survive. It's help. It's people out there that will help you. The domestic violence hotlines, there's shelters that you can go to that will protect you. Houston shelter, the Fort Bend County Women's Shelter. Reach out for those resources. There are people there to help you.
Thank you so much for saying that. And I got some words for you. Sorry, lazy, weak men that no, in all seriousness, that's something that we talked about on the last show, is that weak men do weak things, right? Insecure men do insecure things because
Absolutely.
they're not confident enough of themselves, so they have to belittle everybody else around them, right? And part of like my mentorship group that I'm with, we talk about being a superior man. Right. We talk about being the strong man. We talk about being the dangerous man, not dangerous to your family and to your wife, but dangerous to people who are trying to harm you. Like to the man who feels the need to be violent to the woman that is supporting you, you're weak. You need to be strong. You need to be around other strong men that's going to lift you up and teach you how to become an intentionally strong man and not be a coward. Okay. Oh, we got another Q&A. Sorry, I'll be going all day. Sorry, I'm bringing my glasses next time.
All right. So we have from Nikki Bond on Facebook. This needs to have a part 2 podcast topic.
Absolutely. Hey, BB.
And then she also said, I went to the hospital because I was beat up by my ex, and the hospital told me don't report him if I was not ready to leave.
Ooh.
Wow.
See?
Yeah. Oh, that's what. Hey, Nikki. Hey,
and then Pamela Carrier from YouTube says, this was so helpful to many women. Thanks for your testimony and being a great survivor for your life and others.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And BB, that's my other homegirl. That's my little big sister.
So BB from YouTube says, so good. Yes. And we have Next Wave Entertainment again. How important is spirituality to a man, or in a man, to you?
Okay. We have time to answer?
Ooh.
Okay.
Quick answer.
It's important. It's very important, because if you don't believe in God, or you don't have something to believe in, you're gonna believe in anything. And so that's firm foundation for me.
Right.
So
I believe that. And so just to jump on that, if you don't have a spiritual foundation,
yes,
right, you don't know yourself, you don't know God, so you can't relate to anybody else.
Right.
You have to know God. You have to have a spiritual foundation, because how else are you going to explain yourself to anybody else? If you can't relate to yourself, you can't relate to the people around you. Nope. And then you're going to do cowardly things by physically trying to control the things around you instead of spiritually controlling the things around you, which is what God has us to do. Absolutely. Man, yes, part 2 is coming now. It's coming. Yo, thank y'all very, very much. Continue to like and share. Make sure you follow me on, matter of fact, everything: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. My name is very, very simple, Ricky Getwood Jr. And Lauren, we're working on something outside of here. We're going to talk about that later, but we're working on a whole program together. But for now, how can they find you on any of your social media sites?
Lauren Lyman on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I'm Lauren.L143.
Gotcha. Cool. Make sure you guys, again, share, follow, and part 2 is coming, and we have a lot more for you guys. All right, peace out.
Thank you.
That really was good.